Hello Barmy Badger Army, I hope you're all well guys. Welcome to today's show. I thought today we'd have a little look at some of the Batmobiles that me and Badger Jr. have got, and I thought we'd review one of the newest ones out. So I just thought I'd talk to you about this one. This is the 1960 Batmobile there with the classic pod for Batman and Robin there. You've got the bright red bat actually, which is quite rare. Usually, obviously, it's either white or it is a slightly off colour of blue or grey. This is by Corgi, and it is the stamp of the Batmobile, which is pretty cool. And this one was made in 1976. So this is quite an old model. You know, it's fairly weird, but very, very, very well played with. Me and Badger Jr. really love this one. I'm guessing to begin with there was a Robin in there. I think there's like a really faded out Batman in there now, as you can see. But it's been well played with, and this is one of my favourites. So that's really cool. So that is the 60s series. Very cool. I love that one. This is another one and a personal favourite of mine. This is the Batman 1989 Batmobile with, of course, Michael Keaton. I remember picking this up about 5 or 6 years ago at a comic book convention, and I got it really cheap for the actual brand, because this is actually quite an expensive collectible now, and I believe I got it for $5.99, which is, believe me, a total fraction of what this is worth. So, and yes, I'm a terrible person. I did unbox it, and it has been well played with me and Badger Jr. Like I was saying, it has the signature Batmobile there. This is by a company called Ertl, and it was created, of course, in 1989. Ah, okay. Yes, and this is, of course, got the DC Comics stamp on it. I don't know if you guys can see that, but yeah, there you go. Very well designed, very well played with. We've played with this many times in very rough situations in the park. It's been weathered in the bath and all sorts of things, and it's only a little bit of the paint that's come off, so it's pretty cool. This one is a newer one that we've picked up. This is from the Batman vs Superman line, and this is one of the ones that's not really a Batmobile per se, but it is like a car based on the design by Hot Wheels. We do like Hot Wheels in the house. I've got a lot of Hot Wheels, and at some point I will do a video on the vast collection of Hot Wheels we've got. So there's like a basic design of the Batmobile there, but mostly this is like a normal car apart from the ends there, and of course the really big shunt at the edge, which is pretty cool. This was only released a few years ago. It has weathered the storm quite well, good wheels, and it's quite a lot of fun. This one I picked up from Aldi's for $1.99 just before Christmas. It's one of the newer Hot Wheels Batmobiles. It's gone for a more traditional blue style there. I really like the metallic blue and the wheels there as well, and it's going on a similar design to, of course, the 1989 one, which is really cool. Really like the comparisons there. I wonder if it's a slight reimagining of the 1989 one, but with a slightly different paint job, and of course a bit more compact. Very interesting. I'm now going to talk about the tumbler that we got from a friend a few Christmases ago. Big shout out to him if you're watching, buddy. Thanks very much. And this is a great little design, very sleek. This is again from the Batmobile line that came from The Dark Knight. And it's got a few little sound effects there, and it's got some things like that which pop out, and which is really fun. There's also a shooting with the lasers and the lights there, and a speeding off thing. I often don't really understand why they called it the Tumbler rather than the Batmobile, but I guess that was the code name for the Batmobile, and they just sort of didn't decide to change it. You know, he always called it the Tumbler in there, and they never even really referenced it as the Batmobile even as like a cheesy joke. I might be wrong, but let me know if I am, because I don't remember them ever referencing the Tumbler as the Batmobile in the Dark Knight trilogy. So now we're going to talk about the newest one on the line that we picked up for Badger Jr. at Christmas, and this is the Justice League Batman and Batmobile. So I'm going to start off by saying to you, really, honestly, it's fantastic. I don't know if you've seen here, but there's a seatbelt. This seems really silly, but it promotes good driving for children. I know it's in a Batmobile where he's got lasers and cannons and all sorts of things like that, but even Batman needs to keep safe. I love the intricate detail there with the steering wheel being a Batman symbol. I think that's fantastic. I love the style of blue on the lasers and the windscreen here. I think that's fantastic. Nice little detail. And on the seat. This once again reminds me of the Batman 1989 model. And a lot of people say that the Batman from Batman vs Superman is a contingent and is sort of a continuity of the Batman Tim Burton series. So that's very interesting on that one, that there's quite a lot of comparisons. I'll just hold them up together for you. And you can see that there is some comparisons really when you look at the sleek Art Deco design. Apart from, of course, the Batman symbol at the top there. But they've done that quite sleek in, and they've put that at the back there. I don't know if you guys can see that. Yeah, there's a slightly different Batman symbol there. And of course you've got the tail lights, but there is a lot of similarities there. As an actual toy, this is fairly robust, pretty good. There's a bit of meat to it, you know. When I push down on it, there is a bit of flexibility, but not much. It is going to weather the storm a bit. I think you'll have this one for quite a few years before it breaks or anything like that. One key thing I like about this is that the cannons are detachable. They can go off and on when needed, and you can place them in different points of the Batmobile, which is pretty cool. Just going to show you the other one as well. So it's pretty cool. Like, they do fire off quite well as well. It's pretty fun. And you can put them in different positions where you fancy, which I think is a nice little touch. They're not screwed on or anything like that. But of course, the one downside to that is you can lose them quick, which is a bit of a shame. And now onto the actual Batmobile. Batmobile featured Batman figure, which is really interesting. The cape's nice and black. I like that. It's good material, fairly soft. I like the way the cowl is linked in with the costume as well. You know, it's real sort of broad shoulders. It's promoting that Batman's quite strong, quite broad, even though he's quite a thin figure. But it does sort of make Batman have lean muscle in this figure, which is pretty cool. The cowl and the mask are quite tight fitting by the looks of it. Batman does not look happy in this situation at all. There's good articulation with the figure. Like, you can move the hands, you can move the elbows, you can move the head quite nicely. You know, Batman always wants to be able to turn his head. You've got the fact that you can arrange lots of kicking and sort of martial arts poses here as well if you wanted to, similar to this. That's pretty cool. So I do like the fact that you can arrange it in a manner that he can have a fight sequence or an action sequence, so to speak, with other characters. I think that's always a bonus with action figures, is that you can pose them and put them in different situations. So say when your child is bored of using it as an action toy, you can just sort of put it up on your table or your shelf and put a nice base on it and actually have it as a piece to look at, which I think is pretty cool. And this, I would quite gladly have this as a model on a shelf. I think that's pretty cool. I do like the Batman symbol there. It reminds me of the Batman symbol from Nightfall featuring Israel. That's pretty cool. Israel Bat, where it's slightly longer arches of the wings and a lower face of the actual bat. And this is fairly low down as well, which is very similar. So I quite like it. I do like it when they do change the Batman symbol and the figures quite nicely. I think it adds a bit of variation, but of course I am a creature of habit, and I'll always like the 1989 symbol here featured on this one, and I am a big fan of Tim Burton. So let me know what you thought of today's video. I've really enjoyed making this, so let me know if you enjoyed it, and if you would like to see more Hot Wheels cars or any more toys in mine and Badger Junior's collection, let me know. And let me know if you enjoyed this review, because I certainly did. And I will see you guys real soon. Bye for now, Barmy Badger Army. Let me know if you're a big fan of Batman, if you have any collectibles, or what videos you would like to see next. See you later on, guys. Bye.